Hey everyone, and welcome back to Confessions of a Slow Cooker. I'm Ashlyne Blue, and today I want to welcome Rebecca June Smith. Okay, I was trying to think about how we actually met. I know we technically met at Belmont, where we went to college, but for some reason it felt more complicated than that. It's not, is it?
Listen, I just want to share.
No.
We were leadership scholars together. You probably don't know. Do
Oh,
you remember that?
I remember that now. I didn't realize we were in that together.
Yeah, and you were a cheerleader.
I was on the dance team, but yeah.
Or I'm sorry, dance team. I just remember you would wear these little bra tops from practice. This is when you were like famous singer. You know what I mean? You had like the abs and the short, and I would kind of make fun of you. It's probably because I was insecure about myself. But I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, little like, oh, cool outfit." And you'd be like, "What, thanks?" Like all peppy and like happy. And then you had a good sense of humor about it. And I remember one day being like, "What? One day I'm gonna see you again in like a Dillard's." I don't know if you remember this. I'm like, in like 20 years, and I'm gonna be in like the fat person section. I don't know
Oh
if I
my
can say
God.
that. And I'm gonna be like, "What up, petite?" And you're gonna be like in the crop top section as a petite person. And you thought that was funny. And then we started talking. I remember that.
That is insane. I don't remember this
I
at
know. It's insane.
I do.
It's
I was
insane.
very like, hi,
Yeah.
and
You were
but
always so positive, as you still are. But
oh man, well that is okay. Case in point, I couldn't remember where this was, but then so to add, you grew up in Franklin, I grew up in Brentwood, and then you
worlds
married,
apart, worlds
yeah,
together.
you married Whit, who went to my high school, and he was at Belmont as well, and so that was kind of like a little bit of a cross, like when you meet somebody and then you have somebody else be able to kind of vouch for them. Like you ultimately
Wow.
dating and marrying Whit was like, okay, yeah, okay, I know this person.
Okay.
And it just,
Yeah.
you kept you more in my life. And I feel like in that way. So thank you, Whit, if you're out there. Um, all right. So I don't even know where you want to start with your fertility journey. All I know is that I was around for all of them.
Yeah, you were.
So go for it.
Okay. Well, here it goes. Actually, talking about wit, I remember I was told, I think in 7th grade,
Mhm.
like, you have polycystic ovaries. You're probably not going to be able to have kids. And that
Wow.
was
That
really
early?
irresponsible for a doctor to tell me that. Because literally my whole life I just thought that, like, oh, I probably can't have kids. And it was always just something in the back of my mind. But I remember like anyone I seriously dated, and I remember telling Whit, like, are you okay with adoption? Like, if I can't have my own kids? And he was like, oh, yeah. Allison's like my baby sister. It's not really a sister, it's a family friend, but she's adopted from China, and I'd be okay with that. And I mean, I still love adoption. I love the idea of it. We had actually um, signed up to do fostering classes
Really?
because I wanted to foster to adopt and all these things right when we got married. Because I was just told, oh, like, having kids is not for you kind of thing. And then
Can I ask a
6,
question?
yeah.
How did that make you feel back then? Did you feel like, were you okay with it? Because one of my best friends came on and she was told pretty early on that she probably wouldn't be able to as well, and she can't. So that is the case. But I'm just curious since, and she was actually, it was later in her life that she found out, but she kind of had this feeling, or maybe I'm saying it wrong. Anyway, how did it make you feel? Was that something you carried, or
Honestly,
you
like,
just let-
it's almost like I just had to be okay with it, like
yeah.
lots of things in my life. I was just kinda like, "Okay, this is gonna be my story, and it's okay." It wasn't until after I got married that I was like, "Oh, now I'm kinda sad
Okay.
about it." But it wasn't, I mean, literally, I got pregnant 6 months after we were married, and TMI, but I was a virgin when I got married, so didn't really get a lot, uh didn't really have a lot of fun times before the pregnancy happened. So, I was always, like, pleasantly like, I mean, obviously so grateful that that happened, but it was just so opposite of what I'd been told,
Yeah.
like, my whole life. So, yeah, it was a really hard pregnancy, and I, like, had every problem you could probably have, but then I had a healthy little baby girl.
Okay, so then you go from being told that you probably won't be able to have any kids, getting pregnant right away, and then you did have more kids.
Yeah. Before our oldest was 1, we announced we were having another baby at her first birthday. That's how I remember that.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and they're 19 months apart, 2 girls. So that is crazy because I never had a sister and they're crazy. Um,
I did. Can
yeah,
vouch.
I hope that they'll like love each other forever, but stay tuned. Because they don't right now. Anyway, and that happened very quickly. And I was surprised by that. So I was like, oh, okay, like I'll be able to have as many kids as I want, no problem.
Yeah.
And like, so I always had this weird fantasy of having like 12 kids, or like a
Really?
lot. Like, and it
Wait, a
wasn't
fantasy?
really,
Even though you didn't think you were gonna have it?
I know that's why it wasn't never real. But like when I'd play Barbies and stuff, I would always be a single mom, probably because I was raised by a single mom. And then I would have like, 20 kids. I don't know how they got to me, if it was adoption. I mean, the part of Barbies and Ken,
You were
like
just
I
young.
didn't, yeah, I didn't involve Ken, but I just had a lot of kids. um, so anyway, I always wanted a lot of kids in my mind, even though now it's like, oh, anyway. And so then I was like, oh, I want another baby. And then it was not as easy.
Hmm.
And I remember people saying things to me like, I'm not going to name names of people saying like, well, you should be satisfied with the 2 God gave you, or like, isn't that enough? And like, it hurt my feelings, and I don't really know how to articulate why, but it's like,
I do.
yeah,
I
okay,
know
how?
how because it is not up to them to tell you how you should feel.
I know, but I did struggle with it because I was so thankful
Yeah.
that I had these kids, and like I never knew I'd have kids, and like I should be grateful they were healthy, which was born and had meningitis and almost died, which was traumatic. There's just a lot there. But I
And
guess
look, let
when
me let me go back because this was
okay,
kind
yeah,
of
circle
hot
back, circle back.
potato, like the segment hot potato. We can go ahead and start that a little bit right now. Especially when I have a really big issue, especially when people say this is how you should feel about it when they're not living in your shoes. Because 2
Right.
things can be true. You can be grateful for what you've been given and the children you have. You can also want more children. Like those 2
Right.
things do not have to be separated. And so I don't know who said that to you. Don't tell me. But because I'll go Rebecca Smith on them. But but how dare them they say that? Like, I'm sorry
I
they say
think
it behind
people
their
were
backs.
probably well-intentioned, but it just kind of stung. And those are the comments you still remember, like, well, F you. You have more than that,
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah. Case in
but yeah,
mhm.
it's just I don't know. Being a mom is so weird, and like going through all this is such a blessing and also such a hard thing to explain that to people who haven't been there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I could not get pregnant right away
Mhm.
like I had, and I think I tried for like 8 months, but when I got married, I think I was 27.
Mhm.
I had when I was the end of being 27, and I guess I was 28 or 29. Um, so I was getting up like where I felt like, okay, you know, I might need to see a doctor to get like help.
Yeah.
So my doctor put me on Clomid, and then I don't know how to pronounce the one that starts with an F. But
Famara Famara. Where
yes, Famara. Yeah, it made me feel cuckoo. I'm
during
kind of embarrassed to say what actually happened because I feel like, um, well, let's just say it's the only time I blacked out from drinking, and I had a lot of tequila the night I was born, and
the night he was born?
I'm sorry, the night he was conceived. Oh my gosh, conceived. This is why I need more sleep. I hate when people say like, "Oh, if you just relax, it'll happen." Like, I hate that,
The
and I
amount of
know that
times I was told that.
I know it's not true, but yeah, I got pregnant with my son that
You were
very
very
night.
relaxed.
I was very relaxed. I don't recommend getting blackout. Please don't do that to conceive. But I don't know. Maybe those medicines were still in my system. I don't know. And I can't
Right.
say it was because I was relaxed, but I still don't like when people say, "Oh, just relax," to
Well, that
people who are
assumes they
going
know
through
what's
it.
going on, and
Right,
when anyone told me that, I was like, "You don't realize that there's a lot more to the story, and it's not just my body that is
right,
having to deal with things." It was stuff that Marcus is going through that we
right.
were unaware of, but, to tell somebody to just, like, to sum it up for them, like, the
Yeah,
and
that's a good way to put it.
I had, somebody say this to me in, like, a boutique. I don't know why she felt the need to walk up to me, but she was
I'm
like,
so
"I
nervous.
have I have a, I think it was a daughter or a daughter-in-law or a grandchild, something of that nature, something removed, but close to, and, she just relaxed and she had a baby, so I'm sure that'll work for you." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." After I think 2.5 years at this point of trying,
Oh my
no
gosh.
idea. We hadn't started the IVF process yet, and we still had no idea what was wrong. I didn't know if it was me. I didn't know it was him. I didn't know if it was both of us. And just her saying that, well, while I know she meant well, she was trying to give me
Right.
a good tip. But the unsolicited advice from somebody who, even if they know you, if they don't know all the story, it, just like you said a second ago, that has stayed with me. It
Right.
stayed with me the entire time because I then all of a sudden was like, "What is wrong with me that I can't relax?"
I was about to say
Um,
there's no way to make someone feel relaxed by being like, "Hey, relax, okay?" Like,
yeah,
that
if
makes me
somebody tells
feel
you to chill out, "Are you chilled?"
right.
"Oh, thank you,
Like,
I didn't
"Don't be
think of that."
sad.
Yeah.
Thanks."
Yeah, now
Yeah.
I'm sad,
Yeah.
sadder, or now I'm not sadder, but I feel like maybe there's something wrong with me because I can't get
Yes.
unsad, and so it compounds how you're feeling already, and like you said, you were already a young mother, or
Right.
a mother of young children. You were still young, but a young
Well,
mother of young children, and so you had that going around in your system, and so just I think unsolicited advice in general is just something that a lot of us have had to just stomach and no pun intended, but
right.
it's not helpful no matter how well intentioned it is. And I wish
Yes.
that more people, that's why I talk about it a lot on this show, because I wish more people realized the weight that they're actually putting on to other people. It's more of a cautionary tale than anything else.
It sort
Um,
of reminds me when I was born, my oldest one, she looked a little Hispanic, like, my husband's white, but she had such dark hair
You did.
and, like, tanner skin than me. She had jaundice, and someone in the J. Alexander's bathroom was like, "What country is she from? Like, where did you get her?" Yes. And I'd always wanted to adopt, and so but, like, I was like, "Oh my gosh, imagine if she was adopted, like, how I
Right.
would feel." And I just said, "What?" Like, I mean, I was just so, like,
By the way, she looks just like you in wit.
well, she looks like Wit. Wit wasn't with me, but at the time, she did look I mean, I had bleach her blonde hair, and she was I just thought it was really rude. There's just comments like but I'm also, like, a super rude person that says everything I think. So, honestly,
You're not
this
ru no,
is
no, 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 you're not rude. You do say everything you're thinking.
well, I'm like, some of this has made me which I did think about something I said to you,
Okay.
um, which I have been which I we can get to that in a minute, but, I'm gonna pause and say this about the next baby.
Yeah.
So, I had a boy, and then drum roll please, um, how old was my oldest when this baby was born? I think 10. I had another baby, and
Whoopsies.
oh, yeah, it was a snowstorm, it was crazy, I can't even talk about the things that were happening, and, literally, I've been told, "You cannot have other children or you could die." Like, your
Because
uterus
of
will rupture again.
after
Yeah, I'm sorry, my path is going but yes, with my 3rd, he was born at 33 weeks because I was bleeding and my uterus was starting to rip,
Mhm, mm.
and so I was told, like, "You don't need to have more children," um, but it was hard because my husband was Catholic, I didn't wanna, like, have surgery to not have another baby, he's not gonna do that, um, and birth control I've been on birth control since, like, 7th grade for my polycystic ovaries. And I just was, like, nervous about it. Like, so
Yeah.
many people in my family have had cancer. My mom had just gotten over breast cancer. I'm like, I'm not or at some point she had breast cancer. My dad
Yeah.
died of cancer. Um, anyway, I ended up going to a specialist in Jackson, Tennessee, and he did all these tests on me, and he was like, I don't think that your body's ovulating anymore, or it's like something, I don't know. I got off birth control, and I was trying to do this like natural family planning, and it was working great, and I wasn't getting pregnant, and I'd accidentally done it some days I was ovulating because the spirit moved me, and I didn't get pregnant. So I was like, okay, I'm like done with
Surely
this.
this is not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
and I'm chaotic. So I just stopped keeping up with it really.
Mhm.
And then I thought I was going through menopause, and turns
Nope.
out at 38, almost 39 years old, I have a baby, which the comments people have made to me still are wild.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that. If I
Yeah.
could add in that you came to my baby shower
Oh,
in March
yeah.
of 2023
Mhm.
and no, 2024, sorry. And
Yes.
you found out after that, but you realized you were pregnant at my shower. And I just remember it being like,
Oh,
I wish we would
yeah.
have both known.
Yeah. Yeah, our kids are so close in age, and they're so cute, and I hope they get married one day.
And I'm
If
gonna
only we lived in that society.
I know. I'm gonna put up a picture of the two of us at the shower.
Oh,
Really sweet
good.
that you came.
Yay. I
Mm.
love it. I love celebrating you and everything. Your whole life is
Oh,
I'm so happy for where you are.
you've been
So,
through a lot with me, and I so appreciate you and your comedy. Her comedic relief I mean, there have been some weird things that she has been a party to, and yeah, I'm forever grateful for your whatever comes out of your mouth is usually
listen, I'm not good for much, but I can take a bad situation and add a little dose of humor in it. So,
yeah.
there's that.
You can. The stuff you were saying at my 40th birthday, I
I
still
don't.
laugh about.
Oh, yeah. What a
Yeah.
night. That was a wild time. Yeah, that was a night to remember for sure. Um,
Okay, so you had your fourth. So
yes.
recap, someone told you have PCOS at 13, probably not gonna have kids, now has 4 kids. Not
Yes.
seamless adventures, as you have mentioned, not easy rides, not easy pregnancies or births.
Right.
A lot of I feel like a lot of medical stuff,
Yeah,
has
it's like
thrown at
every
you.
weird problem, and I end up having 4 C-sections. Um, and with the last one, when she had cut me open, it was hard because 'cause I'd converted to be Catholic,
Mm,
and there's so much that goes into, you know, you don't wanna be anti-life or anti-open to life. Um, but if you have medical problems that will kill I mean, it's complicated, right?
yeah.
And so,
Do you want the baby to come out or not?
right. So the doctor on the table was like, "Your uterus is so thin, like, I think we're gonna have to tie your tubes." And that was really emotional for me.
Mm,
Um, and then I ended up, like, having to have iron infusions multiple times a month after she was born. I mean,
I didn't know this.
yeah, I was hospitalized, not hospitalized. I have to go to, like, the cancer lab to get these infusions, sometimes multiple times a week for hours. It was, like, truly impacting my level of living.
Yeah,
I did it some when I was pregnant with, but then it just got increasingly worse, and so I recently had a hysterectomy.
okay.
Um, so yeah, and so that was so hard, and it's weird because I didn't even really ever want a 4th child, like, I didn't that wasn't in the cards, like, she's such a blessing, I'm so grateful, but then it's like once you have that I think it's just once the option gets taken away,
Yeah.
um, because I grieve that, like, in weird ways, and I think I remember asking you, like, "Oh, are y'all gonna have another one?" And, like, I just that's the comment I was thinking of earlier.
Yeah.
It's just that now when people say that to me, it's, like, painful.
Mm.
And I'm like, "Oh, I've said that to so many people," not realizing
Like, you're genuinely interested. Yeah.
yeah. It's just, like, hard because I'm like, "Oh, like, I wanna get to know but it's, like, personal, and I wanna say, "Oh, are you having another one? Because having kids is so great," like, or I want more, like, a million more of Archer, it's just it's not ill meaning, but or there's no ill intent there, but now people, especially being at a big Catholic school and like or church, and everybody has so many kids, people are like, just one more. And like finally, I'm like, you know what? And I don't need to overshare, but I always do. I'm like, I had a hysterectomy. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you. just like, why? Why are you coming up to me like, I don't know, but then it makes me kind of sad. And
Yeah.
it almost feels like inadequate. I don't know how to describe it.
I
Like, I
understand.
know, and I have 4 kids, and so it goes back to that comment, like, shouldn't you be satisfied? I am grateful. It's just when that when that got taken away, like, the possibility of it, I guess, like, you not having a choice in it.
I think also satisfied is a another word I would never like, shouldn't you be satisfied? Like, that's like,
Right.
uh, like someone wrapping you on the wrist. Like, it seems like a chastising kind of thing as opposed to, "I am so glad you have the 2 you have." Like, that would be like, "Yeah, me
Yes.
too. I am so glad. I would love another one, though." Like, if
Thank
that
you for helping me reframe that.
if
I'm gonna start saying that from now on.
I'm so glad you have the 4 you have. I'm so glad I have and I'll be honest, when people ask me if I am going to have another one, I actually had someone, I think, ask me that yesterday or today. I have it all the time, because I have 1. So it's an
Right,
easy thing for people to be like, "Ugh, do you want more?" Because obviously they can tell that I love being Archer's mom, and
right.
I mean, it's written all over my face that I am a mom. Like, I love it, I love it, I love it, even though he is psycho, I love it.
A
And
little bit psycho.
he, uh yeah, so I got that question yesterday and today, actually, and I don't feel that way when people ask me that now. Um, I don't know if I ever fully did, maybe it kinda got under my skin a little bit whenever because, like, okay, everybody on here probably knows this by now because if you've listened at all, but maybe this is the first episode you've heard. And if that's the case, I'll give a little bit of a rundown. I started trying in 2020 with my well, I never tried in my first marriage. I did try in my second marriage, and I was 34, almost 34 when we started trying in 2020, and had been married a little over a year at that point. And then we tried for, I mean, months and months before we even tried Clomid. That didn't work. We ultimately had to go down the IVF path. We did 2 IUIs, didn't work. IVF, and then we um, got an had our egg retrieval, got 4 embryos ultimately that went to testing. Of those 4, 2 were,
Yes.
granted, like, you can go to the next step, and they were cleared in terms of all of the testing that they did, which is a lot of testing. And then we, tried to transfer the first one, and then we tried to and that didn't take. And then we transferred our second one, and that is our son. So we have no more embryos left. And we had to come to terms with that during this whole process because they gave us an option before we even started the transfer process to say, would you like to do another egg retrieval to see if you can basically bank more so that you have more shots? Because I was getting up there. I also had a child at 38. And so I was thinking about, okay, so if I did get pregnant and I wanted more children, they would normally say, and this is not something you had to deal with, I know, and it's not the same, but they say usually odds wise, if you want 2 children, you should probably have 4 embryos that make it through testing. You should have an embryo because of the odds, not because of anything that you want to happen or not to happen. Obviously, you want the children, but they said you can go back through this whole process and have more at your disposal. We decided right then and there that we were going to go ahead and start transferring, which meant we only had 2 options and 2 shots rather. And so because of that, we had to come to terms with the fact that the odds are that one of these will not work. And are we okay with that? Because that's also, if one of them does work, then that's 9 months of having the baby and then being a new mom and then going back through this whole process. So that's where I am today. I'm not going back through this whole process. I had already come to terms with it and I am still there. So, but when people would ask me, like, right after, literally right after I had my child, you want another one? And I was like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
I am underwater with my body, and I had been on drugs for years at this point, and then the pregnancy, and then the 36 hours in labor, and then the C-section because his head wouldn't fit. And by the way,
Angel.
do they not know that? Like, hadn't I feel like
You're the
maybe
tiniest person, like, Just
I
cut.
don't
Yeah,
know.
we can't.
So
I
anyway,
remember the petite section. No, there's no head coming out of there. Okay, we got to slice and dice him out. And by the
so
way, all
yeah.
jokes aside, I'm very sorry that your journey was so,
Oh, it's okay. It's
yeah, not
okay.
what you
It's my
thought.
journey. It's my journey.
Yeah,
But when people would ask me right away, I was just like, what? Like, I'm not thinking about doing anything other than like coming off of my hormone crash
healing my
and keeping my
body.
baby alive and
Right,
making sure he's all right. And so it was more, I know they were wanting to know, but sometimes maybe I was just too hormonal, but I think I got a little irritated by it because I was like, can we not just be where we are right now? Like, I
right,
know I'm getting older, but like, I don't want that to take away from the fact that I don't want that to be the next thing that
right,
I'm thinking about because I have a baby that I've always wanted and I was just wanting to be present and again, like get back to feeling like myself. I had not felt like myself for years because all I was doing was pursuing becoming a mom. But now, fast forward, I say the same thing every time. It's not like I rehearse it, but like it doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me feel like what's wrong with you. I just go into like the actual nuts and bolts of it. And I wouldn't call it oversharing. You said like maybe you overshare about it. I don't think that's oversharing. It depends on if you want to share it or not. That's what makes it oversharing. Like if you're like, I'm just gonna tell you everything to shut you up, or if you're like, no, actually, here's my circumstance. And so what I said today was what I just said to you. We had to go through that process when we were in our IVF thing. And, I'm 40. I don't want to go back through IVF again. And my husband and I agree. We are super, super thankful for the child we have. And there's that. And what else can someone say to that? And so I've gotten comfortable with my answer, but that's not everybody's thing. I'm thankful because like for the longest time I had to I feel like dodge and weave and try to make other people feel better about what
with yeah,
they said to me.
yeah,
And
exactly.
even in divorce people would say stuff and I'd be like, okay, thank you. But now I'm grateful because I'm grateful to have come to that spot. And I hope that you get there as well for you.
Thank you.
I'm sure
Yeah,
you still
you
feel
what?
kind like, is it still daggery when people say that to you now?
The other day, I mean, it's kind of like, I think it's just because honestly, I feel like this baby's on her own so much that I'm like, oh, I kind of want to give her a sibling. Like she already has 3 siblings, right? But in my mind, I'm like, I probably would if I could, but I can't. And so I just think for me, it's hard to admit defeat or to admit like, it's not really
That
defeat,
chapter
but
is closed. Mhm.
yeah, it's just hard for me to like reconcile it with myself. So I probably need to get more like, this is my story. This is what it is. Like, thank you, which I am, but it's still just been
But you don't just get there. You don't just arrive. You
right.
have to go through the process because we, um, I did have a scare. Not a scare, that's not the right word. I had wonder if I'm pregnant. Like,
I
is
wondered
there
if, yeah, like if, could it happen naturally? Like, um,
are you
I don't
asking?
know. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, because people
Yeah.
do get pregnant when they're 4. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're just not going to go through the IVF process again, which I
Correct.
do
Yeah,
not
we
blame
are
you
not
for that.
prevented.
Okay,
I do
that's
not want
great.
to go back on birth control because I don't want any more hormones in my body if they
Yeah,
don't need me.
exactly. Well, I'm gonna
And
be praying for you that that kitchen's open, that slow cooker, you never know.
well, and
Listen,
so to add to it, Marcus had to get his sperm manually um, retrieved
I don't know what that
because
means,
he
but
was,
that sounds painful.
yeah, he calls it ice picking his balls. He had to go, yeah, he
Sorry, I
had to,
didn't mean to make that face, Marcus. I'm
no,
sorry.
that was how, no, it's okay. But that's the other thing when people would ask or tell me, just if you just relax. Um,
We
what
gotta
they
ice
don't
pick balls over here, people. It ain't about relaxing, okay? We're
just
going to
tell them to
Antarctica.
relax.
Yeah.
What we didn't know had happened, and we still don't know what caused this, but there was obstruction at one point. And so
Oh,
that
like sports or
that put
something?
our
Like a
whole IVF thing on pause because we didn't know the obstruction existed at that time. because we had had 2 IUIs, which means like things were coming out. Sorry, everyone listening, but things were coming out when he had to do that to do like, I don't know, the turkey baster method. And they were looking at the sperm there and so it was there. It was there. And then all of a sudden, right before we started the IVF workup, which is where you go in and you do like a gajillion tests so they can see what they're working with, there was nothing. It was like 2
Interesting.
months later. And we were like, what? Like, so nothing was coming out into the cup. Like, or there was something in the cup, but like nothing was there. And so we had to go through a whole year of him working with a specialist. They put him on Clomid, ironically, and it did nothing, by the way, nothing, no cuckoo. They put him on all these things to try to get his count back up so that we could start IVF. And ultimately they figured out, okay, there's there somewhere in the 2 months right before the workup and the IUI, or between the workup and the IUI, something had happened and there was an obstruction. And that's why nothing was showing up. But there probably is something, hopefully something in there. So they had to go in, bypass the ejaculation part and just go in and see. And they were able to find it. So all of Marcus's swimmers are on ice in Denver right now. Not all of them, but like whatever they got. So we still have those technically. Like we could do another IVF right now if we wanted to. We haven't.
You better just get a turkey baster at home in Walmart and just
We haven't. We could do an
stick it
IUI
all up
actually.
there.
I take that back. We could do IUI. But we've talked about it. I still think, I mean, I know because we had this
I was
conversation
just
today.
kidding, by the way. Please
Oh,
don't
no. It's okay.
go to Walmart and
It's okay.
yeah.
We still feel the same way. I am happy to say my entire life I wanted to be a mom. Now that I'm a mom, my sister actually said, like, you'd know if you like have that feeling, that itch. And I always thought I would. But I think the journey that I went on to get here and where I am now, and the fact that I'm like finding out that I can become myself again
Yeah.
and be his mom, like those two things have just really, they have made my life. You know, now we can focus on him. My sister, Maddie,
I know. I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if you'd feel comfortable talking about
Oh no,
that
Maddie, I'm happy to.
because she's just popping these things out.
Except for the
Was
last
that hard for you?
one.
Oh, the last one, no.
Last one, she had 2 miscarriages before.
Oh, sad. Okay, I'm sorry.
He's
I
only
didn't know
30
that.
days younger than my son. So it's like I
Wow.
kind of have a built-in, no, we don't live in the same state, but Archer has like a cousin twin,
Yeah.
you know? And so ultimately, like, and we are very intentional about them knowing each other and being on FaceTime, even though they can't really talk. They're just, when they see each other, they're like, you know,
It's
so
sweet.
pumped. And yeah, I have that. Like I have other people, and a lot of people where I live actually just have one child because it is really expensive to live here in the mountain town. But then
Hashtag
also
rich Aspen. Hashtag rich.
hashtag expensive Aspen, and also a lot of them start later.
Would you, based on everything you've been through, and I know your life circumstances didn't lend to be like, you know, with
Yeah.
Marcus for years and years before trying.
Mhm.
But would you recommend people start earlier? Or I guess you probably wouldn't give that advice. But like people ask me, oh, should I try? Should I try? I'm like, I mean, I would, because you never
I
know
don't
what
know about
awaits.
saying trying earlier. Because that, like, I think it's all about knowledge. If you know that you're not ready to start pulling the goalie, for instance, you know, like you're not ready. Like I even had to push Marcus to try as soon as we did because he wanted to be married for a little bit. And I
Right.
understood that. But then it was like COVID. It was 2020. So I was
You're a
like,
hot
well, I
ticket,
mean, why
Just gotta
not
get.
just see? Because not literally what else are we going to do? That sounds, we had nothing else to do, but like,
Yeah.
you know, we don't know what the world's going to be like, and we don't
Yeah.
know. And I'm about to be 34, and you'll be 35 after that, obviously counting. But that means you're geriatric, and that you know,
Oh,
like
that was a plot twist for me too. When they said that, I was like, oh,
say what?
yeah. And like being pregnant 27 hits way different than 38.
Mhm. Oh
I'll say
man.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
I can only imagine. I wasn't pregnant the first
Yeah.
time, but it's a bitch.
Yeah. Your body, it ain't a spring chicken anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And that's been one of the other things about me not wanting another child is like, I'm happy to finally feel like myself again. And it's already hard enough being 40 and bouncing back or whatever that
Yeah.
term is. It doesn't happen, but like even all the years when I was just pumped full of all these meds to try to get me to the next level, I didn't feel like myself then. So identity has been a big thing that I've been able to get back. I'm still not there, like by any stretch. I will not be wearing a bikini anytime soon. And I'm not trying to like become the girl that I was before. Like
I
I
was
want to
about to
be
say you're
sure.
never gonna be able to be her as far
No.
as, like, internally the same again, but
No.
I totally know what you mean about
There's
feeling
something
like
that, like,
yourself, yeah.
I want to be that mom to Archer. I don't really care if it sounds like, oh, you just don't want another child. No, I would love to have had a different experience.
Right, you're
I
open
just
to life now and open to
But I will say
yeah.
I love feeling like myself again, and I feel like that makes me a better wife and a better mom and a better sister and a better friend, and, I would not be able to do this podcast if I were in the same way. I wouldn't be able to show up for it if, all of my effort was trying to get pregnant again, and I really want this time in my life to be helping other people navigate these stories and these hardships or the questions or whatever, because I truly am satisfied with, if to use the word from earlier, I truly am satisfied with what I have. And I think sometimes it takes that, like the whole journey, getting divorced at 30, not knowing if you find your person, finding that person, but then getting married at 33, closer, inching closer and closer to geriatric, not knowing because you never tried to get pregnant, don't know if you can get pregnant, find out it's really hard to get pregnant, even though we grew up in a place where it's like if you look at somebody wrong, you'll get pregnant. All of those things led to the eventual IVF, and then the roller coaster that is, no matter how quickly or seamlessly it goes, it's hard. Um,
I mean, yeah, that's all consuming. I mean, from
so
what
now I'm here. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy to be here with what I have and look at all the past stuff and say, I'm willing to talk about it. I'm willing to bring up all the gnarly parts of everything.
I love that
But
about you. You've always been like that. Like, no matter what valley or mountaintop you're on, you're, like, sharing the raw truth, and
I feel like,
that's a very I don't know, I just admire that about you.
well, that's
Not
very
many
sweet.
people are like that, so,
I would
yeah.
say that I come by that trait and willingness from my parents.
Right, I
They
love them, they're the
are
best.
very yes, they are the best. They've always been that if we have gone through something or, one of the 3 of us, like, they don't shy away. They're not just, posting and shouting it from the rooftop. It's not an announcement. It's,
Right.
um, it's it's about saying, like, "Hey, if I'm not showing up 100% today for you, then I don't want you to think it's you. This is what I'm
Right.
going through."
Y'all are
And
just vulnerable in a way that most people now are not.
And
Yeah,
that's also why this show, I think, is important because I feel like a lot more people feel comfortable talking if there's an element of, I understand what you're going through.
right.
And I think silence, I was talking about somebody yesterday, I think silence can actually make like like fissures in your body that you just carry on and carry on. And if you felt shame about something, or if you felt alone or like other, then if you don't feel other and you stop feeling shame, like that can mend. And then you can not have this big gaping hole of yuck that you never told anyone because you felt like somebody would either judge you or laugh at you, whatever the case may be. Like, let's heal all that because we have a lot more to do in our lives and we have a lot more people to see. And if you're just carrying around that weight or that cut, however you want to describe it, I just don't see the point.
Yeah.
We have a lot more life
Let's
to
lighten
live.
our load, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Secrets
yeah,
keep us sick, let's just be truth tellers.
exactly. And I remember a pastor back at Bro Baptist. I don't think he's there anymore. I think he graduated is not the right term, but
RIP, we don't
retired.
know.
There we go.
Retired, okay.
But he would say, two sick people don't make a well person. He was talking about more like don't be in a relationship with
Right.
somebody also. But it makes a hospital. And I love that line. And I think I can apply it to this too. If you feel something that you don't feel like anyone's going to understand and you're carrying that around with you, and then there's another girl, another woman, or couple for that matter, who are carrying around their feelings of inadequacy around fertility or not being able to have any more because you had a hysterectomy that you wanting to
Right.
have, all these things, I would say the same thing applies. That just makes a bunch of sick people who don't have a clue that there are people out there who are either have gone through it or are going through it at the same time. And what if we just kind of got rid of that? Like, I think how would you show up in your life a little bit differently? And for the other people in your life, if you didn't have some of these little nagging feelings that are stuck, that I can guarantee you someone else has gone through or is
Can you
going
be
through.
my new therapist? This is
Yeah,
good.
this is great.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let's move on to any more. Do you have any more hot potato stories you can think of?
How long do you have? No, I mean, the whole thing like, "Oh, your hands are so full." It doesn't really bother me when people say that, but my kids are just like batshit, So, I just never really know. Like the other day someone was driving by at school and he's like, "Your son's on top of your car." Like, I know that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's just like always, you don't have your shit together. And I think I used to take offense to that more, and now I'm just like, this is who I am. Like, I have to let things go. Like, I
Good.
have to just I don't know if this is a hot potato. This is my hot take. Like, pregnancy is not what I thought it was gonna be. Having children's not what I used to judge people, okay? I mean, when I was a nanny, I was the best nanny. I was so fun. I would judge moms. I would be like, "Why is she going to the gym every day, like, leaving with her kid? Why am I blah, 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 blah?" And now I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she needed a break." Like,
Yeah.
and it's just this, like I'm like, "Oh, I'll never do this or I'll never do that." And you don't know what it's gonna be like till you're there. And I think you just have to let go of, like, all the expectations we put on ourselves for
Yeah.
perfection, and I honestly think social media and all of that makes it worse. Um, and I'm totally guilty of it, like, "Smile for this, do this," like, be something, and, like, my kids are like, "Mom, you just wanna be perfect." I don't. Um, and I don't know. It's just I think I got a little, um, off track, but the basic point is I think I would tell people don't be so hard on yourself. Like, life is messy. Being a mom's never going to be perfect. How you have your child's not going to be the way you thought, perhaps, and it's okay.
Every plan I've ever made didn't work out. Uh,
Yeah,
not the
exactly.
way I initially planned it. And so when I actually got to the birthing plan, we I didn't I and maybe because nothing had worked out thus far that I was like, what is the point? And the plan I thought this is like good information that we got at our birthing, the one and only birthing class, because live in such a small thing, they only had one for like every
That's
quarter.
funny.
Um, and it was like 7 of us. What our person said, I can't remember even who taught the class, but she said there's no prize for it feeling worse and being harder to have this trial. There's
That's
no
a
prize.
good way to, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
There's no it's not doesn't make you a better mom. It does not make you a better couple for having endured more pain. This is a modern medicine that is supposed to aid in it. And so I kind of looked at the whole birthing plan as that. Like, I just want this kid out safely, and I want to be safe as well. Like, I
Right.
want us both to make it back home together so we can start the rest of this, because it's gonna be hard as soon as you leave the hospital. This is something I wasn't prepared for. 36 hours was hard, going through it. I actually ended up having to get 4 epidurals.
Yeah. I had to have multiple because they kept missing. Is that what
Tries.
you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't know that was even a thing. No one asked me, "You have scoliosis." No one asked
Mm-hmm.
me if I had a curvature in my spine. I feel
So
like that
straight
should
now that
be
you
on
said
the
that.
thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I have a different one. I don't have it. It's not obvious. I don't have scoliosis. I have a I don't know how to say it. But
I
my
don't
sister,
either.
she has a huge scar, so it's clear she has something up. And so after the third one, I was like, they said, okay, do you have his curvature? I was like, yes, and he was like, well, the specialist won't be here who can help out with that for a couple more hours.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
hospital. Um, but yeah, it was like, okay, get the child out safely, everybody as quickly as, and as painlessly as we can make this. This is called birth. But one thing that I didn't realize is after all that, and then at a C-section, which is a major surgery, you know,
Yes.
well, I'm just trying my goal to leave the hospital, and I really got cabin fever after a while. My goal to leave the hospital was the only way they would let me leave the hospital rather was if I could make it 2 loops around the ward walking. And so I was like focused on that and only that because I wanted to go outside and go home. And I was starting to have panic attacks. I didn't really tell anyone about it at the time because when I talk about my panic attacks, I get more nauseous. And so I was trying to like calm myself down and whatever. And then I got home and oh my gosh, I'm never sleeping again. And so it was like
Yeah.
there's no recovery from actual surgery because the whole time you're recovering, you have to wake up every few hours to do the pumping or the trying to breastfeed and all the things. And so if I could give anyone advice during like, the planning part, like what you're saying, like be less hard on yourself and everything. If I could give someone some advice that is not me telling you what to do, it's that if you spend a lot of time thinking you know how it's going to go, it's probably not. Um, no matter what that is that you have got in your head, either from what your experiences are, what your friends' experiences are, what you've seen on movies or TV shows, etc. It's probably not going to be that way, and that's okay. But also remember that after this birth, that hopefully goes as seamlessly and as quickly as possible. You have the whole rest of it, which is actually caring for a child. So, and that will not
Yeah.
going according to plan.
No. You will be more humbled and more, I don't even know, broken, but then like,
It is a breaking. It
yeah.
is a breaking.
Yeah.
But it's like when if you, like I hear on my
There's
little
beauty in the brokenness. You know what I
there
mean? But
is, but also they like in order to build muscle, you have to tear it first. You have to break it down for it to get stronger, and that's how muscle is built, micro tears. And so I wouldn't call this a micro tear. I would call this a, like kicked you in the face and
right.
are you breastfeeding still?
Oh, right now, are you
That's
asking
another
me?
topic. Oh no, I'm not asking.
Oh, I'm like, oh my gosh, my baby was so fat. They switched her to whole milk at 9 months.
What?
From the titty straight to the.
Um,
Mhm.
mhm.
Sorry, I guess you're not allowed to say fat anymore, but or titty. I don't know, but here we are.
He's your child.
Yeah, yeah.
You can talk. You can
But no,
describe
I'm
her.
not breastfeeding. Yeah.
Um, all of this, to say no plans are better plans. Just playing it out as you go. And
Yes,
that's easier
yes, I
said
would
than
agree with that.
that is
And I
easier
will
said than
also say, like, I don't know. I think if you have one child, if you have 4 kids, like, there's no what you were just saying about, like, different plans don't necessarily mean better. Um, because we don't know what God has planned for us. Like, my sweet neighbor across the street wanted to be a mom her whole life, couldn't have children, and she's, like, the best mentor and, like, support for my kids. Like, I feel like I don't know. It's just interesting, like, the way, um, people show up for each other in motherhood and, like, even who aren't mothers and, like, friends who, like, love your kids like their own. I'm kind of going on a tangent, but just to say, like, my life didn't go how I thought it would,
yeah.
and I know that yours didn't go as you thought it would, and I feel like we're still both where we're meant to be, and yeah, there's beauty
Well,
in that.
excuse me. And throughout the whole of my infertility experience, because I was infertile till I was fertile, like
Right.
I'm now, or I could technically probably still birth a child at this point, but uh I think the best part about all of it is having friends you feel comfortable sharing with. Um, People like you don't have to be an oversharer. You don't have to post about any of the stuff that you're going
Right.
through with any of this. Like, hey, like you didn't need to tell everyone what you were going through while you were going through it. That's not the point of 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 this. But you should have people. I hope people have people to talk about it while they're in the midst. They don't
Right.
need to make sure that they don't need to wait till it's all said and done to say, "Look what happened. We're pregnant," or we're I didn't post anything about having a child or being pregnant or going through IVF at all because Marcus and I decided we didn't want to. Not because we wanted to keep it from people, because we were telling all the people in our lives. Everyone else knew. But what we decided is that this was ours. This was so hard to get to
Right.
that what I had initially thought, like I had, an announcement like post in my head all those years I was trying. I just like dreamt of how I would be able to tell everyone. I even found it. I have it. Oh, maybe I don't know.
Let's
Maybe it's
see
here.
it.
I don't know if it's here, but it is here.
We get to
I
see
have
it.
my journal from during that time because I was like reading through some of the stuff, and in Aspen in the fall, it's like the leaves are just gorgeous. And so I would walk around with my dog and lament the fact that I wasn't pregnant again. And then I'd be like, oh, but if we got pregnant in the fall, which we ended up getting pregnant in the fall, um, I would pick out 3 little aspen leaves in different sizes, like you do pumpkins.
Yeah, that's so
And
cute.
I would just put that up, or maybe that's how I would tell somebody else. I don't know. Like I had this idea because I saw all of my friends getting pregnant and I'd waited so long to be like in a in my marriage with Marcus, and I was like, this is the guy I want to be the father of my children. Like I had all those things, but that kept evading me. And so anyway, I did find it. I was pregnant in the fall, and
Oh, I
yeah,
love that. You need to frame that.
I just remembered about it. I put it
Let's
in
frame
my
it. I
I
love
put it
that. Frame
I
Bridget.
frame brown. I do frame bridge things. I've made it into a card, but I never did anything with it because we ended up deciding we weren't going to tell people because we also didn't know how it was going to go, and we just wanted, or we
Right.
wouldn't post it. And I was like, well, what am I going to do? Just like show this to people? No. Um,
I mean,
I,
that's a whole nother podcast episode about social media and like the posting and the not posting, how it hurts people, how it brings encouragement to people. It's just
yeah.
complicated. It's all
Well, and I
complicated.
did post about my IVF after I posted that we had a child.
I
You
do
know,
remember that.
and a lot of people did not know because I had been taking pictures and cropping my belly out of them or whatnot, and it was great because I was able to have a pregnancy and it not be online,
Right.
and that was nice for me because I was terrified the entire pregnancy that something would go wrong because I kind of got used to
Yeah.
things not going right.
Right.
And so I waited until then, but um, I like that was like the whole plan. I had this plan, I had this idea, and it never came to fruition. And then when it finally did come to fruition, the plan to get pregnant, things changed.
Right.
And so I didn't talk about the stuff while I was going through it because it was sacred to Marcus and me to go through it and with our friends and family around. Um, but that gets me back to having people to talk about it during the messy part, like when I didn't get pregnant with my transfer of the embryo. I lost a baby, basically. Uh, I was devastated, and I told my people. I told everyone right in that moment. I didn't wait until we were pregnant
Right.
to tell them again.
Because you
And
needed people to walk through that with you,
yeah, and I
you
also
know?
just needed them to know, like if you can find people who can be sad with you, dude, they can be so happy
Right.
with, you
Right.
know? And those are the people you
It's
want to keep.
harder to be there in the low moments than the
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and also what does it tell them? That
Right.
like our relationship is only for the good moments? Like, no, a relationship is just like in a marriage. There are ups and downs. The
Right.
downs make the ups really good. And the ups tell you when you're in the downs that there's something else that exists here.
Right.
And so I'm thankful for you during that time because you again always bring the levity. And you were so sweet, always are so sweet to me. Is there
Likewise,
anything
sis.
that I have missed?
Not that I can think of.
It's
I
okay.
mean, yes and no, there's always
And
some
another thing,
missed there's always more, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I didn't do very good at the end wrapping it up, but I just like we'll talk forever, you know what I mean?
that's what this is about. Um, I so appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having
So,
me.
so
This is
appreciate
my first podcast, but listen, you never know what the future holds. You might have just given
this
me a
and
little
a
bug
career.
bite. Yeah.
You're very good at it. You're very natural.
Oh, you're sweet.
And um, I am so thankful that that you have been in my life. For gosh, I was thinking about when I was doing like 20
I'm not
years,
good at math. Wow. What? Do
like
we need
over
to have
20.
a Belmont
Oh my,
reunion?
2004. It's
Yeah.
2022. What? Anyway,
It's still
we always
2004 in my heart, Ashlyn. I can't I can't get there, but yeah, I'm
anyway,
grateful it's not, but I'm also
I
look how
hear you.
far we've
Yeah,
come.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So
From
many
here to
things.
anywhere. From here to anywhere. That was
Okay,
our
for those
college
who don't
slogan.
know that, that is the Belmont slogan. Um,
Yeah.
well, we started there and now we're here. And
Yeah.
so I'm so thankful that you were able to take some time away from
Yeah.
your hooligans,
I know.
and that Wit set you up and that you are a part of my life. And I'm hoping to see you soon when I come back to Nashville. So thank you, Rebecca June Smith, for being on the show today. And I want to go ahead and say Rebecca is, well, if you haven't been able to tell this from our candid conversation, she's an open book about a lot of things. And that's one of my favorite things about her. So I'm going to go ahead and say, and you can tell me if I'm wrong,
Oh
Rebecca,
no, you can
if
say it.
someone wanted to ask you more questions
Oh,
about any
ask
of that,
away. Yeah.
I will put a link to her Instagram account
Yeah.
on the show notes. And then, as always, if you have questions about anything we talked about in this episode, please reach out. And if you know of somebody who has gone through anything that you heard on this episode, or is just starting to navigate a fertility journey, or maybe has a fertility journey in the past that maybe they want to know if they are alone, they're not, but please share it with them. Nobody's doing this alone, and we definitely shouldn't have to, even in the after pregnancy part, you know? Um, I could have another, I guess, companion show about motherhood at this point, but
Yes.
the start of it is the fertility. And I'm so, so thankful to have people like you on to talk about the craziness and the joys.
Yes. There's a
That
lot
that
of joy. I should say there's a lot of joy.
Oh yeah. Your kids are awesome. I love them. I love your
Thank you.
husband. I love you dearly.
Thank
So
you.
everyone,
Y'all
thank
are
you for being
picture
a part.
perfect.
Oh no, we're not. Um, I had like hair coming out this whole time, and I'm
I
like,
know, but somehow it's like hot, you
no,
know?
no.
Somehow it's right. Like you make everything look right. I don't know
Okay.
how.
Yeah. I need you in my ear at all times.
Okay.
Um,
Beep, beep.
thank you, Rebecca, and to everyone else. We'll see you on the next episode. Until then.
Bye.